to our new Osceola studio, and welcome to the 2022 preseason position preview. We start with the offense, and today we'll discuss the quarterbacks. I'm Bob Ferrante, joined by Osceola publisher Jerry Kutz.
Great to be here and welcome everybody. We're very excited about the 2022 season and getting it kicked off. And we're really excited about a new format to bring to you where you won't hear just from us and what we see on the practice field, but we're going to incorporate Osceola analysts using former players. And today we're really excited to have Heisman Trophy winning quarterback Charlie Ward. Charlie, congratulations on your high school basketball championship. It seems like just yesterday I was watching you play at Thomasville Central.
Well, I'm not sure about that just yesterday, but I appreciate it. It was definitely a good run to the state championship, 4 years at Florida High. And, you know, we worked and grind for 3 years, and the fourth year we were able to overcome, to be able to win a state championship. It was a great run. Had some very good players. A great chemistry this year. Our coaching staff and players had great chemistry, and we were able to, make it through. Really a tough gauntlet of teams to win the state championship. Beat some very good teams along the way, but I was just so proud of our guys because they were just like everyone else that have aspirations of winning a state championship or national championship. There's a process. And we were afforded the opportunity to get a chance to be in a national state championship game, and we were able to overcome.
Charlie, you've had the opportunity to be coached by some really good coaches, starting, with your own father in high school, and then Coach Bowden, Pat Kennedy, went to the NBA and got coached by a lot of great people. And you've had a successful coaching career. Would you talk about what coaching is to you and what makes it work for you?
Well, I don't know what you deem successful coaching career. Football, I was not a very good coach as far as wins and losses. There are a lot of ways that you can make impact on kids and those types of things in order to say you have success. So I appreciate that part. But just, coaching in general, you also need good players. That plays a big part in how successful a coach is. They need structure. I think we provided that. And also, me coming up, I've been in a lot of different structures, some with a lot of discipline, some with very little. And I've seen success on both sides of it. But when it comes down to it, you got to have coaches that are willing to, be a teacher, hold their players accountable, and do all necessary things to get the right talent on the field or the court at the same time and pull different strings. And when it's all said and done, the coaches prepare the players to go out and play. And it's up to the players to go out and make plays. Because as we've seen time and time again, the coaches can give you what you need, but the players have to go out and perform at a high level and make plays in tough situations. And so I think that's what it looks like when you talk about great coaching. Great coaching, you got to have great players that buy into a system, buy into their roles, and do the necessary things to make plays when they're afforded that opportunity. And so I've been on both sides where, you're the player and the coaches have given you what you need to go out and do it. And I've been a coach where I've given it to the players and they've been able to go out and do it. And sometimes they didn't do it. But when it's all said and done, you have to have both working at a high level.
Some of those Florida State quarterbacks will be back after this.
Hey Seminole fans! Tickets to Florida State football games are now on sale. Right now, you can pick up single game tickets, 3-game packs, and season tickets for the 2022 season. Home games include Florida, Clemson, Georgia Tech, Wake Forest, Boston College, Louisiana, and Duquesne. Have fun this football season with your friends and family, all the while knowing your ticket purchase is funding FSU's success. Call your ticket rep today at 850-644-1830 or visit Seminoles.com. That's Seminoles.com.
We're back in the Osceola studio, and Charlie Ward, let's talk about some of these quarterbacks. You mentioned playmakers. I think playmaker is a term that's been associated with Jordan Travis these past few years. What he can do with his legs, what he can do with his arm. We're seeing more comfort, some more understanding of the offense. He seems like after 325 passes these last 2 years, he has a good feel for the game, what's going on around him. How have you seen Jordan Travis's progression?
Well, it does help to have stability as in the coaching room and offense as well. That plays a big part in the success of the athletes or the players on the field and being in a system. And so I think Coach Noble, even though this will be his second offensive coordinator or quarterback coach. I think it benefits him being in the same offense. That plays a big part in, just understanding where you need to go to football, where your hot reads are, reading defenses, all these different things, being able to help him develop. At one point, he was not a very good passer as far as being accurate, but you've seen him improve year in and year out. To a point now where you feel comfortable with him throwing the football and knowing where to go with football. That's one of the things I saw early on where he was very uncomfortable, just understanding, knowing to go where he needed to go with the football. Well, he got pressure. And so that plays a big part, I think. That would play a big part in his success moving forward.
Charlie, Travis talked a fair amount about confidence, that he's seen his confidence in himself growing this past couple years. How important is that to success?
That was all based around me putting time in, and also, when I was talking about throwing the football, knowing where your receivers like the ball, working with them, outside of the season. So that plays a big part in your confidence as well. And I think that's where he is right now. He feels like they've given him the reins to the offense, which plays a big part in your confidence as well. When you're not having people coming in, trying to not so much take your job, which that's what you're there to compete. But I just think it's important when the coaches are giving you the opportunity to lead and you step up and you lead. And I think that would play a big part in his success moving forward. Being a quarterback, they need to know. The team needs to know who's the leader. And I think they understand and know who that leader is by the work that Jordan's putting in the offseason.
Charlie, let's move on to Tate Rodemaker. He's seen significant reps now as the number 2 presumed quarterback. AJ Duffy challenging him for that backup job. But Tate's now had a couple years in this offense. There was a really nice deep ball, but he's still in that early stages developing his career. What advice would you give him as he's taking these early steps and trying to just get better each day?
Well, I've seen Tate as well, the growth over his time since he's been here. And of course, as a freshman, we all have those moments where we look like we're doing okay. And then it looks like we don't know what's going on. And that's just part of being young. And I think the longer he's in this system, he has the tools needed. People don't give him credit, but I think he moves very well for a taller quarterback. And he's not a bad runner. And he's accurate. And the last thing is he's a coach's son. So, he understands and he knows what football and he has that pedigree because he's been around it for quite some time. And so, you definitely seen him progress. And he's another guy, I think, they kept bringing in people, which he wasn't probably ready last year, which was probably best to have someone there just in case. But I think moving forward, he's developed his body, and he's sharpening his skills just like everyone else so that he can be prepared and ready to step on the field if he gets an opportunity or when he gets his opportunity to compete.
A coach's son, Tate Rodemaker, is one. So is AJ Duffy, his coach, his father, a coach out west. So AJ came in, enrolled early, and that's tough. I mean, it's got to be tough to just jump right in there and try to compete when everybody's a little bit bigger, everybody's a little bit faster, everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing. But Charlie, what advice do you give to a guy like AJ? Because he's really in kind of that crawl stage where he needs to be eventually running, but how do you get from crawling to walking in year one on campus?
Well, the best part about what these guys are doing coming out of high school now, they're so much more advanced, I know, than I was coming out of high school because of all the elite 11s and all the different camps and trainers that they have opportunities to go to fine tune their skills. And that plays a big part in, your development once you get to college. And so one of the things that you have to, learn from high school to college is the speed of the game. And the speed of the game plays a big part because you may know something, but if you're late on a throw or late on a read, it could be, the difference between an interception or a sack, and so it's just understanding and getting acclimated to that point of it, especially if you understand and know where you're supposed to go to football, what you're supposed to be doing. But being able to come in early definitely helps the young guys because they can get on the lifting program, they can learn the playbook, and they can get a head start. They may not get an opportunity to play right away, but getting a spring in while you should be in high school the last few months it plays a big part in just getting you started, understanding the college environment. And sometimes these kids, I should say players, get here and they put on about 10, 15 pounds, which is normal, but that's an early start for these guys that come in early.
So much of the quarterback play is dependent upon offensive line and receivers. And what do you see happening right now at Florida State offensively in that progression of the offensive line and the receivers?
Well, one of the things I do see is they're recruiting well, and they're getting guys that want to be here, that's bought in for this season. In this day and age, you never know. But the guys that we have are willing to compete, which is the biggest thing that you need. If you're going to have a successful team, you got to have a team that's willing to compete. And not just, against the defense, but in your own room. Because if you feel like you haven't made, then you may slack off here or there. But if you have someone pushing you for your time or plays, you'll bring it each and every down. And so one thing that I'm seeing is they're getting guys that are big on the offensive line. I know that's one of the things that they work to improve. They're getting big guys and bulking them up. And that's part of the deal. You got to have athleticism. You got to have the Garth to be able to move people. But you also have to understand your schemes. And I think Coach Atkins and Coach Noble and the offensive staff have done a great job of finding a system that fits them, and they're using that system. So they do a lot of inside zone and, power. That's like their main run game. And they run it until somebody stop it, and then they throw the football really off of that. And so that's been a big part of just understanding those systems and getting on guys and moving. And of course, getting athletes to be able to be in space. That's another thing that you're starting to see as well. Guys getting in space that are athletic and can make plays. And so it'll be interesting to see how the guys that they brought in, how they fit, and the guys who've been here, how they respond to having new guys in to compete with. And I think when it's all said and done, they understand that they're on the same team and they have to support one another.
Some closing thoughts from Charlie Ward after this.
Alumni Hall, where you'll find officially licensed FSU gear for the entire family, including brands like Nike and Champion, plus great gifts for your favorite Seminole and home decor too. Miss some of the old Seminole throwback logos? Check out our College Vault collection. Shop online at alumnihall.com and let our great customer sales team ship to you within days. Or pick up in store in Tallahassee. You'll find us in the Miracle Plaza Shopping Center on Thomasville Road. Students and military get 10% off in store, and Osceola subscribers get 20% off in store and online with their digital membership cards. Alumni Hall.
Charlie, we had Kez on our talking about the receivers, and I'd just like to ask you. He talked about the amount of time it took, you guys to really start to get a feeling on timing and fits, and the longer you play together, he thought the better you guys got on the same page. Can you talk a little bit about that and where maybe this receiver group and these quarterbacks in particular are with those receivers?
Well, yes, that plays a big part, but in this day and age, they have a lot of time to do that. If you go out and throw, just say 45 minutes, 5 days a week, that adds up over the course of 3 or 4 weeks. And so I think it plays a big part in just understanding and communicating where you're throwing the football against certain defenses, and seeing guys come out of their breaks when the quarterback's going to throw the football. All that plays a big part in, yes, the timing and what have you, but it can get done within a summer. And it may take longer if they're new. To be able to get on the same page, especially if you're throwing against air and also against, man-to-man. But I think it's possible. One of the things I know, when you have receivers, they don't want to drop footballs. So if the ball gets close to them, you have to challenge each other. Quarterbacks have to challenge receivers have to challenge the quarterbacks. And I just think, they do have the time to get on the same page, even if they're new. And yes, there may be some that you favor more than others. Like, Kez and I were on the same page a lot because he's more of an inside receiver. And some of the outside guys, Knox and Fryer, we were all on the same page, but they were outside guys. And so, it's just a matter of understanding when the ball is coming, how it's coming, getting your head turned around. That does take time, but I do believe they can get it done.
2022 preseason position previews. You can watch guys like Charlie Ward, Kez McCorvey, Mark Salvin, all of our football analysts break them down. Go to our YouTube channel, The Osceola. Please like and subscribe. We thank you for watching this latest edition. We thank Charlie Ward, our publisher Jerry Kutz. I'm Bob Ferrante. We'll see you next time.